Alright guys, Supreme Com here. So yesterday we were able to pull 2 copies of Yulan and then also her 4-piece Matrix C. So in terms of this video, we will be dedicated to showcasing up how to use her martial artist form. Just pretty much going to like a Parse to kind of showcase that off. Maybe hop into like an event just to see how it actually functions in battle. But before doing that, I do want to quickly go over, I guess her basics, right? How to really use her in a way. So let's briefly talk about or go over what kind of stat that I have. So 27k frost attack, so not bad. So these are the remaining other stats to be looking at. So these are kind of crucial as well because they do kind of factor into one of her unique ability that you do start seeing from the 3.0 character. As far as the Titan, I do have level 1 for the normal attack boost, right? And then also for discharge. So my discharge, will more or less be higher or lower than you guys. So it depends what you guys have. But as far as the setup, we have a 6-star Fiona, just 0-star currently for Yulan, and then 1-star Alice, which is pretty much mandatory in a way. As far as the Matrix C goes, for my setup, 3-star 4-piece sets on Fiona herself. This one, I don't really have any other alternative as far as Matrix C, so I went for the standard. So kind of keep that in mind. For the first 50%, obviously you do a lot more damage, right? But anything past that, it will be gone. So just kind of keep that in mind because I know people will say, well, it's only going to be very effective for the first, 100% HP to that 50%. So I know, but this is pretty much what we are working with, right? As far as Alice, I did put on the 4-piece set for on herself, Yulan chips on Fiona or on Alice, just because these are background matrices, so I don't really, it doesn't really matter who you equip that onto. Since what is it, Yulan will be the main damage dealer, so her on screen time will be a lot more. So that's why it's best to have them on here. So that's the kind of why we put what chips on what character. Alright, so as far as the know-how to her character, the first thing you want to do in terms of picking what you want to play with, you do want to go over to here and just kind of pick, the difference you want to go for. So the martial artist form is the one that's doing the DPS. The sweeping force form will be the one that's dealing or being the support. So within her overall character, they are going to say text that says either or form can work, right? I believe there are one in here that says specifically only for martial artist form. I think it's this one can only be used while in martial artist form, so there is a little bit of a discrepancy. Dodge attack, I don't think there's anything difference in here. Skill, there are 2 different skills. One, the offense defense, that is for martial artists, and then the other one, the fire in the hole. Wait, no, so this one is the basic one, right? That's just kind of the generic one. So we're using a skill to fire in the hole. That's the one for the DPS form or the martial artist. This one, the clashing of arms. This one would be for the support. So there is a difference. So don't overlook anything. Just focus on the one that you're looking at. And discharge, there are 2 as well. So yeah. Since we are going to be focusing on this one, the main to know about her overall kit is the dodge attack onto the normal attack, because we read hate reading, but if we read something here, I believe one of the texts does show something. All right, I think it's the very first one. I think it's just this one. So after using any dodge attack, it immediately, your normal basic attack, it jumps to the 4th chain already. Why that is really beneficial, because if we do take a look at the kind of like the 1st to the 6th attack, you guys can see that if we jump directly to the 4th to the 6th chain, you're doing a lot more damage. So pretty much after you do 3 hits, so dodge attack, do 3 hits, then you're doing a lot more damage. So that is really good. So as far as the playing style, already it is looking like Leo Ho already. So instantly, just by what you need to do. So kind of reminiscent, obviously already. The other thing to note is her skill. So her skill is interesting. You have something called the inter strength. So depending on how many interstring you're able to gather, you are going to be able to do a lot more damage. So as far as the martial artist form, you are able to stack that up to 10 times, right? So it says up here 10 times, right? And then so every time you use the skill, it consumes 5, and then when you consume 5, you will increase that damage up to this amount. So if you consume it at 5, you're doing 3 times this right here. So that is crazy. And also reset, so once you reach 5, it resets. So this is like a mini Saki already, where you don't really need to rely on her reset skill already. So that's why Saki is kind of like out of the picture already. So kind of unfortunate. After casting skill, you are also going to be able to get some frost damage attack as well. So pretty good, and restoring to dodge attempts. So not bad at all. As far as discharge, there's not really, throughout my rotation, I never really used the, you can say, discharge, unfortunately. Even though discharge does give you frost damage, but I never really went into her. Sad to say, but it is there. Wait, no, it's this one. This one, yeah. So there's not additional effects, so you gotta be careful what you want to read. So I'm just looking at this one. So this one is not for the martial artist. This one is for the sweeping force. So I was looking at the wrong one. So yeah, you never really want to discharge into her because she's not really providing any additional things to begin with. But other than that, we did went over all the, I guess, the nitty gritty, right? So advancement, I guess I can quickly go over them. They are very similar to Leo Ho. So there are like the first, like the 1-star investment is pretty much you are getting some damage increase. So pretty self-explanatory. This one you are gaining, you're finally able to heal. And then as far as the interstring, it is gonna be a little bit better. They give you a little bit more perks. 5-star investment, you can survive a fatal blow or fatal damage, and 6-star, you do get more damage output, a lot more. So I would definitely say 0-star is good already. But the 1-star, if you do have the budget, you do want to go for them, I guess go do that. But it is not really mandatory, honestly. Her chips are good, especially for me. I never really have any good frost chips. These are the one that I want to go for because they are providing a lot. So that's why. So this one is what, 85% of attack to nearby target per every second. So this one is a very similar to Saki already. But not only that, you also do get some additional final damage increase when you use a skill or discharge. So that is good. This one also increases the final damage by 6% by 15 seconds whenever you consume the interstrength. So that's good. And then after dealing frost damage, you also do increase all elemental damage by this amount. So that's why I feel like it's good, you know, just better than, not better, but you know, just a step further than the previous frost chips. So that's why I was like, all right, I'm just gonna get them. And then her traits, her trait is good. Unfortunately, I do not have enough gifts to give her to max it out, but essentially she gives a basic look at the 4,000 investment right here, the awakening points, typical 18% of final damage increase, but while you are in martial artist form, you also do get an additional 7% damage increase. And this portion of it is for the other form. So that's great. Like, she is getting a lot of damage output. So yeah. Alright, so essentially the rotation goes something like this. So activating the sub skill, use the skill on Alice, and use the skill on Fiona, and then just dodge attackers. So you kind of know when to stop when you see her symbol likes to like finish lighting up. And then we have 5 shots already. That's when I use it. Go back into discharging. So you see that her symbol disappears, then we go dodge again. So that's kind of how it works, right? Once again, because we did have 5 of the interstring already, so that's why we can do that. Jump cancel to discharge, jump cancel their skill, and then discharge into Fiona again. Back to Yulan, same process again. You can use it now. I was only 1 stack away, but that's okay. I'm not really losing a whole lot. Okay, her symbol disappear, dodge, disappear, and dodge. We can use that again, dodge. Okay, now we can go back into Alice, discharge, cancel skill, and then discharge back to Fiona, and back again. So that's essentially how the rotation works. I think it's quite easy. So hopefully, as far as the parse portion of it is, easy to follow. But I guess let me see if I can go into like, play a stage, maybe like JOs or something, just to kind of give you guys like a more practical approach of how she works. Alright, so for an actual demonstration, I am going to be hopping into a last portion of a JO just to show you guys how thing actually works, in reality, I guess, in a way, in practicality. So alright, gonna be doing the same thing, alright. Shouldn't really use the skill that early, but that's okay, I guess, in a way. Alright, where you go? Get those dodge attack in, nice. Alright, we can trigger this once again. Alright, so going back to Alice. Whoops. Oh, her skill wasn't even active yet. Okay. Alright. Got the charge. Nice. The one problem that I would say I have with any low cost investment team is just the ability to heal. As you guys can see, we are taking quite a lot of damage already. Like, pretty much this team is heavily relying on Fiona to heal for discharge. Like, other than that, we don't have any utility to heal at all. Yep, and we die right there. So, that just to kind of show you guys in actual practicality, this team may or may not work as good as you want just because of low star investment. But as always, you will never really be playing by yourself anyways, right? So you always have, a few teammates here and there to support, healing and whatnot. So that shouldn't really be a problem unless you do want to do some solo content of your own. But other than that, I think that is pretty much it for this video. So hopefully this video is helpful, and I'll be catching you guys on the next one.